Hello, and welcome to another Tower of the Exalted Battle Report. In this game, we have the Forces of Retribution led by Optimus Rahn versus Makeda3. This is a 75-point game playing the Linebreaker scenario, and we'll go into the Retribution list starting from left to right. We have an Arcanist Mechanic, a Chimera, a unit of Battle Mages, a Sphinx, a Magister with a Mechanic behind him, a full unit of Sentinels with UA, with Rahn being right in the middle, a second unit of Battle Mages, a Phoenix, a third Arcanist Mechanic, a second Magister, and Iris 2. She is in that rough terrain that we have set out. So pretty kind of straightforward army. I'm really trying to make sure that I don't get assassinated too quickly, because as much as I generally like to kind of press forward, run, really can kind of do all sorts of janky assassinations and things of that nature that could just ruin plans. But anyways, we're going to try to make sure that we don't fall into that trap. So on to Scorn deployment. This is kind of a newer version of Makeda3 that I'm trying out for the first time. Her battle group is a Titan Sentry, a Titan Gladiator, Mullet Karn Tiberian, and a Cyclops Shaman. There's no really support solos, but for units we just have 2 minimum units of Beast Handlers and a minimum unit of Annihilators. Basically, the plan for the minimum unit Annihilators is not really to try to use them as a unit, but with Hand of Death from Makeda, trying to use them almost like little overtaking, berserking whirlwinds, just individually, just like little individual solos that can just take out small pockets of infantry. Might be really good against the battle mages, depending on how the Sentinels are with their higher armor and their mini feet. It might be a bit rougher, but hopefully my battle group will be going through them before them and dealing with that. So we'll see how it goes. I think it might be good for kind of lesser armored infantry. I'm really looking forward to one of the Annihilators going through an entire unit of Mechanothralls. That will always be fun. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully I'll be able to report on this more in the future. So, Retribution turn 1. Not really a big advance, just kind of making sure that when I get in there that he's got some good range and everything else, and where it's a Linebreaker, you don't have to move into the middle of the table. And by the way, that big terrain piece in the middle is actually a gigantic forest. I was making a joke with my opponent Jim that ghost shot from the Cyclops Shaman is just going to pull in so much work because I got this big giant forest that I can ignore and he can't with one POW 12 gun. But anyways, so we had a good chuckle over it. So yeah, so just kind of a half run, I guess. Well, just an advance up, and we'll get into Scorn turn 1. Just another kind of run forward. If you noticed, the Sentry and Tiberian kind of swap places, at least as far as their positioning was with the forest. My initial thinking with this is I made the mistake of not acknowledging that the Phoenix is also an arc node. So I thought a Chimera was the only arc node in this list. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just have Tiberian over there, and any sort of like pulling shenanigans from battle mages and TK and all that other stuff isn't going to work. And Mullet Karn and the Sentry will be fine on the right-hand side, because, that's just a Phoenix. He's just a heavy jack. And I finished my turn after casting Vortex of Destruction and Hand of Death on Mullet Karn. I finished my turn asking my opponent, I was like, hey, is the Phoenix an arc node? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, damn it. So good lesson for me to learn here. So we go into Retribution turn 2, and you can see that Mullet Karn almost died. He my opponent Jim ran up the Phoenix. He then had Rahn TK Mullet Karn, and the battle mages started dragging him in, and the Sentinels charged into him with their whole weapon master goodness, and brought Mullet Karn down to 4 boxes. I'm very fortunate that he didn't die, but yeah, I really kind of lucked out there. On the left-hand side of the forest, again, just kind of another cautious advance. Polarity Field was upkept on the Sentinels, so the Annihilators wouldn't be able to charge into them. And the Sphinx shot the Annihilator to the left of Tiberian's shield, and the Exalted Court, I just had it take the shield guard purely for the fact of triggering off Battle Driven, so I could get Pathfinder for next turn. If Pathfinder wouldn't be any sort of effect at all, I just would have let the Annihilator die. But I think it kind of worked out in my favor. Yeah, so we're going to go into Scorn turn 2. This is Makeda's feet turn. So after Makeda and the Exalted Court, Makeda and the court off to the right, the one to the far right charged the Phoenix, did some damage to it. Makeda also charged the Phoenix, failing her charge, which is totally fine. I just needed her up closer more to kind of extend out her control area, and the Exalted Court on the left just ran into and tried to jam up Sentinels. Tiberian went in, charged and killed the Sphinx, and also battered off one of the Sentinels. Everything else just kind of advanced up a little bit. The Sentry ended up charging and killing the Phoenix with Enrage Up, and Mullet Karn under the feet was proceeded to I was hoping was just going to clear just tons and tons and tons of infantry. But sadly, he just decided, he took a big beating and he just wasn't up to killing 20 or 30 infantry balls. So he cleared out most of the battle mages, about half the Sentinels. I think he killed an Arcanist, and that was really about it. Kind of sad days for Mr. the Karn, but oh well. So yeah, so Makeda was just kind of sitting out there on 3 transfers. I still kind of felt okay about it. With one arc node on the opposite side of a forest, the Phoenix is dead. I figured I could withstand a Rahn feat turn. The Sentinels that were in the woods, they don't have line of sight to charge her. There's like 2 battle mages, a Magister, and Rahn himself with Chain Blast, so I didn't feel like she was overly in danger. So yeah, it's kind of where I went with it. So Retribution turn 3, trying to go for the assassination run. He realized where he lost both of his heavies, and I still had 3 after the Sentinels finished off Mullet Karn. He tried to go for the assassination run on Makeda. Basically, Rahn just went up, TK'd her. Battle mages went in, tried to whittle her down, and it came off with one Sentinel charge. I only needed 2. I transferred off 2 of the hits. I just took everything else. With the POW 18, or the armor 18 for Makeda. I felt fine that I could just take the nickel and diming little 2 and 3 point damages here and there. I just transferred off two of the higher damage rolls. One, I think there was a battle mage spike that I transferred, and the other one was from the sentinel that you see there. But this was Rahn feeding. So the rest of the sentinels just kind of moved up forward. Some battle mages tried to go into Tiberian, couldn't do anything. So with Rahn spending all of his focus trying to go for this assassination run and failing, I knew I had to. I didn't really have to, but I knew I wanted to finish the game off with Makeda into Rahn. And really, the two things that were kind of causing me a problem was the sentinel that was directly in front of Makeda, and the one that the furthest one to the right in that forest. So basically, if you kind of think of Makeda, kind of the two sentinels that are on her left and her right. So, like I was prophesized in the beginning of the game, the Cyclops Shaman was gonna come up key. So we'll go into Scorn turn 3. If you look at the very bottom of the page, a full unit of Beast Handlers went up, healed the Shaman, and he went with aimed ghost shot, killed the Sentinel in the forest. The Titan Sentry killed the Sentinel that was in front of Makeda. Makeda upkeeping Vortex of Destruction on herself. The last of the Exalted Court kind of walked up. Makeda killed off the Sentinel Standard Bearer. Blood Boon Vortex of Destruction. She didn't upkeep it. It was gone at that point. So with killing the Standard Bearer, Blood Boon Vortex, the Exalted Court killed one of the battle mages, and then Makeda just went in and killed Rahn with a couple of swings. So it was a good win for Makeda. I really wish I had played Karn a bit better and not having him just get killed off by well, not necessarily killed off, but being able to put him that in a bad of a position so that a telekinesis and all the battle mage pulls, I very easily could have lost him. But so yeah, so another Scorn win. I kind of like this list. I'm looking forward to playing it sooner. I have a tournament that I'm going to soon. That this is going to be one of the lists that I'm going to be bringing. It's kind of taking the Morgul 1 list that I have been using for quite a while. It's kind of like my main list, and this will be kind of mainly for, hopefully, 4 shield guards will be enough to kind of take down some heavy shooting lists, and for things that spam out lots and lots of infantry, this would also kind of shore up that. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll be doing pretty well, and I will report on that soon. But thank you very much, guys.